Here are more details about how the Trump administration had the Secret Service show up at my home, simply posting 8647, followed by an explanation in that thread saying I'm not calling for... No, not my goat. Not my goat. Dark woke Ed Krasenstein getting a call up from the feds. Listen, who amongst us hasn't talked to the feds about things that they may or may not have said? I'm just saying, you know? It happens sometimes. It is what it is.
And it says 8647.
So this is what the former director is saying in response to this. It literally makes no sense, but here it is. I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assume were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associated those numbers with, it's never occurred to me, but I oppose of any kind, so I took the post down. So what political message did you think it represented?
Just in case you don't know, most people do. In the dictionary, it defines 86 as slang for to throw out, to get rid of. And
dude, this is awesome. Oh my God, this is like almost 500,000 views in 10 hours. Oh, dude, imagine a boomer watching this and just like whipping himself up into a frenzy to have an aneurysm because they're so scared of their beautiful president getting... Oh, that's so funny. Today has been 8,647 days since September 11, 2001 attacks. How many messages was James Comey sending today? Oh my God, what did he know? Oh my God. Wait, Jack Posobiec, 8646? No. What did he know? Oh my God. I can't believe these guys are being so violent.
And to refuse service to. A lot of restaurants use this. When I was a waitress, they would put 86 green beans on the chalkboard, so you knew we were out of it.
But when it comes to law enforcement, a lot of times 86 means death.
That's right.
Kill him by 86th him. He's dead. So we thought the head of the FBI has to know what 86 can be used. Why would you post that? Number one, who cares what James Comey thinks? All these
Dude. This is I love this story. I love this story. This guy, like, they're unironically being like, yeah, no, he meant like the current president as a Republican, former head of the FBI under both Barack Obama and also Donald Trump, a person who was perhaps most responsible for Donald Trump winning the election against Hillary Rodham Clinton. That guy is actually now out there being like, we should hate the president. You're this is so stupid. Oh, it's awesome. Oh, that's great, man. That's what's going on. Brian may confuse 86 with 187.
He spends his time on the beach. I'm wondering, did he do that rock formation?
Right, I was wondering that too.
Or do you think he just walked on and thought you'd share it? So this caused Don Jr. stumbled on it first and said, are you calling for the assassination of my dad?
Yeah.
So here's the president.
Of my dad? Dude, you're like 50. You're not allowed to say that. Just say the president, okay? He's everybody's dad at this point. If you're like a 50-year-old man, you can't be like, are you calling for the assassination of my dad? He's the president, man. Am I wrong about this? Am I crazy for taking issue with Don Jr. and this statement here? Not my daddy. Like, ugh, gross.
Ask, responding to it.
He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit.
Oh, God. Conservatives love being the victim so much. It's their favorite thing. It's their favorite sport. By the way, this is literally verbatim the same shit where like Tectone crying about his rapist father or whatever and how he can't stream with him anymore because it's my fault that, you know, his dad was such a serial sexual abuser in the American military that they made a new rule around it, you know? It's just like, dude, what do you mean? We see you, we hear you, we know what you're doing every other moment of the day when you're not crying about this. Like, what do you mean? Like, Donald Trump saying this is so funny to me because he's like, he literally retweeted a guy who had a visual of like bound in the back of his pickup truck Like, that was a big deal. I laughed about that when that happened too. I was like, come on, guys. Like, who gives a shit? But like, what are we doing? Like, you're Donald Trump. You can't do this. Like, you are not allowed. Okay? You are not allowed to cry about this if you're Donald Trump. What the hell? I hate this. I hate this, like, overt hypocrisy. I hate this incredible hypocrisy. I can't stand it. It makes me so angry. And it's especially frustrating because you know who actually goes, I guess it's actually fair. I gotta hand it to these dipshits. You know who only does that? Stupid ass liberals do that. Okay? And leftists too. Only you in this chat and stupid ass liberals do this shit. Republicans, you could be like, what are you talking about? Look at this shit. What is this? He'd be like, yeah, well, he deserved it. He deserved to be. I want to Trump. In the same breath as talking about how devastating it is that the big, beautiful boy, our big, beautiful president was actually almost, and that's what Jim Comey is trying to do. They don't care. They're too stupid. The right has endless amounts of freedom. Okay? The right has endless amounts of freedom to just say whatever and be overtly hypocritical, contradictory in the same breath. I think liberals got to stop this shit. They got to drop this. Don't even ever give a moment to this kind of like woe is me ass cry bully bullshit. Okay? Yeah, Donald Trump Jr. got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume ready. No love lost for Liz Cheney, but the right just forgets this shit. All these Republicans pretending Comey was threatening Trump is pretending to be mad that it was totally fine with Trump saying Liz Cheney should be put in front of 9 barrels shooting at her. Let's see how she feels about it when the guns are trained on her face. No, this is also bullshit. This is not even an appropriate line of hypocrisy baiting because Donald Trump very clearly was calling Liz Cheney a chicken hawk in that situation. Like, you would know because you're the king dog whistle. Mountains out of molehills, a classic reactionary tendency, says you. Bro, you do that when you said Russia wouldn't invade? What? Let's go, Chad. Is Friday debate? What? I'm so confused. How is that even applicable in this circumstance? Anyway, have you seen this?
What's going to happen in the future? I'm saying to you, we have not called for the of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
I love that it's called crossing the line. Oh, that's hilarious.
I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies. Cry babies.
I'm not calling for the white people, at least for now.
I can't give a guarantee of the future, especially when things are going the way they are.
Subtext.
Especially if things are going the way they are, there will be a revolution in this country, I can tell you now.
Okay, dude. Okay, dude. He's doing the Trump thing where he's like, things change. I don't even know if this interview will end. I don't know how this interview will end. Ed Krasenstein got visited by the government. Here are more details about how the Trump administration had the Secret Service show up at my home, simply reporting 8647, followed by an explanation in that thread saying I'm not calling for... No, not my goat. Not my goat. Dark woke Ed Krasenstein getting a call up from the feds. Listen, who amongst us hasn't talked to the feds about things that they may or may not have said? I'm just saying, you know, it happens sometimes. It is what it is. New York Post should retract this despicable false smear. It's just not true that he refused to officially condemn the... That's not debatable. It is a factual error. Wait, what? Politico made a baseless accusation. New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani refused to officially condemn / support Israel.
Sponsor on a resolution. When you run for mayor, you face a lot of baseless accusations. And
The
I'll try
fuck?
to ignore as many of them as I can.
They saw the polls where he's rising up. He's actually a threat to Cuomo. Here we go.
But this morning, Politico accused me of something that I take very seriously. They released a story falsely claiming that I refused to condemn their evidence. My name wasn't listed as a co-sponsor on a resolution I proudly voted for. In this election, we're seeing the real crisis of anti-Semitism and the pain of Jewish New Yorkers being weaponized as a political talking point. Here's the truth. In January, I told my assembly staff not to co-sponsor any resolutions that were emailed to our office. If I'm on a resolution, it's because I was automatically added. I created this blanket policy because I wanted to focus on the substance of legislation. It had nothing to do with the content of the resolution. But I understand this has caused pain and confusion for many, so I want to share my actual record. I have voted every year for the Remembrance Day resolution, including this year, to honor the more than 6 million Jewish people by the Nazis. I have repeatedly supported allocating millions of dollars in the state budget for survivors. And my campaign has proposed the largest fiscal commitment of any candidate to combat anti-Semitism, an 800% increase in hate crime prevention. As mayor, I will protect Jewish New Yorkers and build a city that every person can be proud to call home. As we get closer to Election Day, you'll unfortunately hear more lies about me, but I'll always be here to tell you.
I can't believe they're hitting the last second exit ramp to be like, wow, co-sponsoring versus voting has always been pedantic. Yeah, it's I can tell this guy went on minoxidil and finasteride because of you. Did he? Is it not slander? Of course it is, dude. What are you talking about? In a UJA Federation JCRC questionnaire, Andrew Cuomo, Adrian Adams, Brad Lander, Scott Stringer, and Zellner Myrie pledged visit to Israel if elected mayor. Zoran Mamdani declined. One need not to travel to Israel to remain steadfast in their support for Jewish New Yorkers. Yeah, fuck yeah. And it's correct. What do you mean? What do you fucking mean? I can't tell if I'm in an echo chamber in New York, but it baffles me that Cuomo is ahead of Zoran. Dude, it's because, and I told Zoran this, and he knows this better than anyone else in our conversation. If you listen, the real fucking constituencies that he needs to penetrate now, he needs to fucking target are the black and brown aunties. And they are always, especially older people, are always going to go with institutional Democrat Party corrupt charlatans. Always. Old New Yorkers are always going to go with, oh, Andrew Cuomo, I've heard a lot about him. Well, I don't know. He seems like a good guy. Name recognition is a major player here. Name recognition definitely is an issue here, okay? For Zoran especially. But overall, the real reason is because the black and brown voter base, especially, and there are a lot of older whites as well that go even further beyond and vote for Republicans in general. But older people in general across the board will go with the institutional pick. Cuomo in New York politics is a name that they remember. The problem is, of course, when you tackle the subject matter from the perspective of like old aunties being a little fucking conservative within the framework of the Democrats and oftentimes like leaning on whatever the institutional candidate is, people call you a racist. But those very same people that call you a racist will literally fucking run around screaming obscenities at fucking Latino and black people that vote for Trump. Or even before they vote for Trump, the idea that they might even vote for Trump is enough to call into question their legitimacy of their race. Like, it's fucking crazy. Do you think Zoran actually has a chance to win? Dude, what is up with these fucking people? Why did they write the name of a like lolly enjoying possible in the chat? You should be embarrassed, dude. I don't understand it. So this is literally turning into the Sam Hyde shit. Brother, I know you're trying to test something so you can be like, so you can go back and be like, oh, this guy banned me because he can't stand criticism. No, I can't stand you because you enjoy the content of a moron who literally watches lolly porn and shows it to other people. Like, that's it. And also on top of that, he's an Israel supporter. It's the same principle behind why I banned mentions of Sam Hyde for the longest time, because his also neo-Nazi fans would come in here and straight up constantly be like, oh, Sam Hyde. It's like, no, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to know that like my fellow human beings are this dumb and this willing to openly admit that they watch someone who is grossest like this. Yeah, every person coming into your chat to talk about Asman or Nux or whatever is this guy. I know. 5 years on Tinder, swipe right 2 million times, I got one date. It's time to Thailand Max, bro. He's going to go, oh, dude, the mere mention of this gross loser caused him to get triggered. But like the reality is, yeah, I'm just relitigating why I think he's a gross little freak. It makes me sad. It makes me truly sad that there are people who would be willing to openly be like, nah, that gross little repulsive freak that's like super pro-Israel. I love that guy. This is stupid. Anyway, Yeah, he got you by revealing that he loves how are you going to come back from this intellectual defeat. That's what I mean. This guy swiped right almost 1% of the entire American population. What is this? So I have to try it. Nuxanor said if anyone says his name in your chat, they would be banned, so let's try it. Bro, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Like, you should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed to be openly getting directives from a anime VTuber that every other VTuber hates because he's a gross lolly enjoying loser. Like, every time you come in here, you're basically saying, "Hey man, I'm here on behalf of a." It's weird. It's the same bullshit. It's the same bullshit that Sam High Defenders were doing. There's another VTuber being a white supremacist that made headlines. Yeah, I saw. And the only reason why I saw it is because apparently after that loser ass VTuber got banned, immediately they were hitting the Hasan loves terrorism and he's not banned, so why can't I say that it was good that George Floyd got killed or some shit? And it's like, I don't know, maybe because you're a gross little freak. Have you seen one of his fans constant replies to this tweet of yours? What is this? Which one? What? How many gerbils did they find in the cavity search? When Hasan was detained by customs, he learned they were cockroach minions of Asmongold. What is this? Oh my God. Is this guy okay? What the? Don't tap the glass? Bro, this is crazy. What is this? Look at what this loser looks like. Who's the guy? Who's this guy? Trauma the Thief? Is that the guy who I don't know, he's got a decent following. Yeah, he's weird, but can't deny he has fans. See? Oh, hey, I was testing something. I've been a fan of Hasan since bro tips. Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah. Why are you so embarrassed, dude? Why are you so embarrassed to openly state that you're a fan of this guy? Dude, people are really weird about you on Twitter. I know, because Twitter is a shithole filled to the brim with neo-Nazis. I do love actually seeing, I'm not gonna lie, I do love putting a face to the fandom here of the types of dudes that are coming in here from watching the lolly enjoyer, Israel defender. Bro looks like that TikTok filter that one guy posts all the time when he's like, this is your manager who's trying to flirt with you on Snapchat. Oh my God. He literally looks like that TikTok filter. You know the one I'm talking about? No way. Hold on. I have to find it. Someone in this chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. This segment is perfect for Sore Right. Many tears will be shed now. I know. Hogwatch is turning into Soy Right. Soy Right Watch. It's unopened snaps from a manager on TikTok. That's what I mean. Yeah. Please link it to me. Please. I can't find it myself. Please. We don't use TikTok. We are old. Okay, you need to be subscribed to be able to send me TikToks. Yeah.
No, I heard you called out again. I'm not mad. I was off today too. But it is a nice rainy day, so if you called in because of the rain, that's okay. We want you safe. You know, just because it's an off day doesn't mean you can't be turned on.
I love this guy so much. It's just the same vibes too, though. It's the same vibes too. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Trauma the Thief. Trauma the Thief. Log off, dude. Log off, brother. Openly fascist here. While I don't agree with most of what Hasan says, I feel personally that ban was stupid. Openly fascist here? He started off with openly fascist here? Ain't no way, right? No. You just radicalized this guy so hard. Okay, here. We'll end it on a high note for this guy. Okay, listen. You have the opportunity not to be this person. A big part of that, of course, is, you know, spiritually cleansing yourself of whatever kind of weird nonsense you've radicalized yourself into believing, but also, you know, figuring out what to do with your hair, figuring out how to groom yourself appropriately. Like, these are the types of things that you can do to fix your life, okay? But I promise you, right now, what you're doing, entertaining the circles that you're entertaining and the Reddits that you go to, all of that is 100% not helping you, okay? This is leading you down a dark path. Chat logs might not be real, just checked. Okay, well, regardless, openly fascist or not, yeah, I have seen this. I retweeted this today. I didn't know this existed. I donated $10,000 to streamers if they say the N-word live. Imagine putting hours of work and investing a ton of money into a YouTube video with a great premise that turns out really good, only for it to get demonetized, not suggested, and not even sent to sub feeds properly. This is why YouTube is so demoralizing. Bullying him for his looks and hopping back on your high horse is wild. I thought you were against this. Fuck no, I'm not against this. Suck my dick. We just literally talked about dark woke versus soy right. When the fuck have I been against this, dumbass? The fuck? Stop crying. Stop chirping. This is what would happen if you were to fucking come up to me in the real world and try to pull some shit like this in the real world. So why the fuck are you, like, when people cry about this shit, okay, first of all, I will fucking bully you, okay? If you come in here and behave like a dumbass, if you come in here and engage in like reactionary behavior or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna fucking bully you a little bit. You need a little bit of bullying and then also a little bit of reconstruction, okay? You need to be broken down a little bit and only to be built back up as a beautiful flower blossoming, okay? Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. All right? Bring back shame. God damn. A big part of the problem here is that a lot of people think like anonymity is granted to you as a fucking right. You know, you're like, no, I can anonymously go and fucking harass people. I can go and annoy people. And there's no way to check back. That's what it is. That's what's very frustrating. A lot of chatters unironically think like, what the fuck? Yeah, of course I'm going to fucking, you're the streamer. Of course I'm going to shit on you. And if you shit back on me, how dare you do that? And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. I treat you like a fucking person. Okay? I treat you like a normal human being. If you come in here as a normal human being, okay, if you open the door up to this, I think you can receive a little bit of it back. Yeah, let 1,000 soy flowers bloom. Exactly. That's what Mao said too. What is this? Man, I used to like Hasan a lot, but now he just seems like a whiny ass fucking dude that can't take accountability. Because I said perhaps this is why my former podcast co-host is too afraid to talk to Sam Cedar or myself about Gaza and instead cries about watching a 2-hour compilation of bad fake clips out of context to try to smear pro-Palestinian content creators or terror lovers. This is me not fucking taking accountability. This is quite literally Ethan Klein defending fucking right-wing terrorists who were destroying aid by lying to his audience and saying that they were actually nice Jewish boys that maybe were just holding on to the aid for funsies. This is what I mean. I hate this shit. Don't fall for this bullshit, okay? Don't fall for this bullshit, the whole customer's always right mentality. It's fucking bullshit, okay? Chatters are not always right. Used to respect Hasan the Hun, but now, bro can't take accountability. Always deflects with you misunderstood like he's some 4D chess genius. Now he's out here supporting terrorists? What a fall from grace. Bro's a bad faith loser who will never take accountability. Yeah, I don't think this person actually liked me, for the record. I think he's just one of those guys who says that. My point is, this is a normal part of the process, right? In a person-to-person communication, these are things that I could fucking draw out of you. Anonymity in this chat is something that a lot of people take for granted, and they say a lot of shit. They say a lot of stuff and take for granted the anonymity in the process of saying a lot of shit. And when I treat them like normal human beings saying this shit, when I pull them up and I respond to them directly, okay, all of a sudden they're like, whoa, 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 hold up. I thought I could just like chirp at you completely from the fucking barrier, protected by the barrier of anonymity, you know? Anyway. Yeah, I mean, there it is. This plan was put in place to help Israel continue its genocide in Gaza. Not even close to a genocide, but at this point, I invite the idea. That's it. Nailed it. There we have the problem. And yes, Space Ace is correct. It really sucks that if people actually genuinely approach you with good faith while disagreeing with you, you will engage and spend time to be polite and explain things, but they choose to be like this instead for cheap internet points, and then they fucking cry when they get a fraction of it back, okay? That's it. If you genuinely had a disagreement with me, I mean, on the issue of genocide, it's like pretty crazy. That is a little bit heated, you know? But if you were to come in here, and even in that situation, if you were to come in here and try to change your mind, if you were like an open-minded person, if you were charitable, then I would fucking entertain it. I would entertain it all day, every day. And chatters yell at me all the time for being charitable to those who are demonstrating charity. They're like, why do you fucking sit around and like describe certain concepts to people over and over and over again? And it's because I do that because I know that, like, you know, there were plenty of things I didn't understand in the past as well. Like, it's as long as someone is there to like hold your hand a little bit, it's fine. As long as you have the capacity to change, as long as you're open-minded, it's great. But if you come in here and you're like, dude, I was just testing being a bitch. Okay, well, you know, I'm going to fucking make fun of you a little bit. Don't fucking play the victim right after, especially when we're talking about a story where Republicans are playing the fucking victim. I thought you were talking about this guy, bro.
I'm not.
Oh, this is the guy I was talking about too, yeah.
I'm not. You're just predictable. And you like to camp in the middle of the bus. Well, I basically know all the spawn locations too, so... See, you're probably gonna spawn mine in the yellow house now. How the fuck would you know I'm going that way, though? And you like to run through the garage, so I don't know what to tell you. You're actually cheating. You're definitely predictable, dude. Stop trying to... I'm not gaslighting you, dude. You're cheating. Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, I don't know. Read the rest. When did he bully you? You come off as a bit of a piece of shit here for attacking his lugs. Chatter. How many fucking tweets does he have to have about being a former fan of mine, but he's just not, you know, he's not being held accountable here, while simultaneously fucking defending the fact that there is no genocide when there clearly is one, while also simultaneously fucking turning around and saying, but, you know, I'm on board with it potentially. I bullied him before I knew all that because his associations invited me to investigate a little bit further, because what he came in here was in defense of a person who does also believe that there is no genocide, but it would be really cool if there was one. If someone comes in here and says, I'm a big fan of the pedophile neo-Nazi Sam Hyde, if someone comes in here with that mentality, would you have an issue with me doing the same exact thing? Stop being obtuse. Answer my question. I didn't know what he looked like either. Yes, he came in with associations from a dude that is a fucking neo-Nazi who enjoys lolly anime porn. He volunteered that information. I don't know anything about this person. He's totally anonymous. I will forget about him as soon as this discourse is over. If someone comes in here and says, like, I love Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde's going to fucking kill you, dude. He owns you. And we do this exact same process where we look towards his background. You didn't know any of that before he came in, so we were shaming his looks on a hunch, I guess? No, you fucking baboon. Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm saying he literally came in to be like, oh, Nooks owns you. That is an association that is enough for us to fucking go, oh, you like a person who enjoys lolly porn and is also a fucking Nazi, an Israeli Nazi, not like the neo-Nazi in the Sam Hyde sense. Okay? Yeah, if you come in with that association, I'm going to swing back at you. The fuck? Again, don't come in here and demand respectability if you're not going to be respectful yourself. That's it. Also, I didn't even fucking call him fat, for the record. I said he's ugly, both inside and out. You called him fat, you fucking moron.
So hard. Because people like me, and they like what's happening with our country. Our country has become respected again, and all this. And he's calling for the assassination of the president.
Obviously, he apologized and said he doesn't.
Well, he
wasn't
apologized
calling for violence. But
look, he's a very bad.
What do you want to see happen? What do you want to see happen?
I don't want to take a position on it because that's going to be up to Pam and all of the great people. But I will say this: I think it's a terrible thing, and when you add his history to that, if he had a clean history, he doesn't. He's a dirty cop. He's a dirty cop, and if he had a clean history, I could understand if there was a leniency, but I'm going to let them make that decision.
Tulsi Gabbard was asked, do you believe that Comey should be in jail? She said, I do. Any other person with a position of influence that has people who take him very seriously with a guy of that stature, his experience, and with propaganda media has built him up to be. She's very concerned. So Secret Service is now dispatched to investigate.
And Don Jr. said,
have you also noticed that you and other leftist streamers like Mike from PA are treated by haters as if you're politicians running for a campaign? It's always supercharging imaginary, mean-spirited points of contention to bring you down and never get it back when there is no way to actually do that, as you are not running for any election to lose. You're just accessible, sure, but still untouchable to them. Yeah, that's what it is. That's precisely what it is.
Said just James Comey casually calling for my dad to be murdered. This is who the Dem media worships. Demented.
We've already had 2 attempted assassination attempts on the president.
Why would you encourage that?
Why would you put that out there? And plain stupid is not going to get you anywhere. I look forward to the investigation.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to